Joseph was a dreamer, not the kind who simply daydreams, but the kind who believes his life has meaning long before anyone else sees it. He was one of 12 brothers, and his father Jacob loved him deeply, more openly than the others. Jacob gave Joseph a beautiful, colorful coat, a gift that made his brothers feel ignored and resentful. What was meant as love became a symbol of favoritism, and jealousy quietly began to grow in their hearts. That jealousy intensified when Joseph started talking about his dreams. In one dream, he saw himself and his brothers tying bundles of grain in a field. Suddenly, Joseph's bundle stood tall, while his brothers' bundles bowed down to it. In another dream, the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed before him. Joseph shared these dreams honestly, unaware of how they sounded to his brothers. To them, it felt like arrogance, as if Joseph believed he would rule over them one day. Hatred replaced jealousy. One day, when Joseph went to check on his brothers in the fields, they saw him coming from a distance and recognized him by his coat. "Here comes the dreamer," they said. They grabbed him, tore off his coat, and threw him into an empty pit. At first, they planned to kill him. But when traders heading to Egypt passed by, they chose another path. They sold Joseph as a slave and dipped his coat in animal blood to deceive the father into believing Joseph had died. Joseph was taken far from home, betrayed by his own family, and stripped of everything familiar. In Egypt, he was sold to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. Even as a slave, Joseph worked faithfully and with excellence. Over time, Potiphar noticed that everything Joseph handled succeeded. Joseph was promoted and put in charge of the entire household. But once again, trouble followed him. Potiphar's wife tried to seduce Joseph, and when he refused, choosing integrity over comfort, she falsely accused him. Joseph was thrown into prison without a chance to defend himself. Once more, he lost everything. Yet even in prison, Joseph did not give up. He remained faithful, trustworthy, and hopeful. There, he met 2 servants of Pharaoh, the cupbearer and the baker, both troubled by strange dreams. Joseph interpreted their dreams, and everything happened exactly as he said. Before the cupbearer was released, Joseph asked him to remember him. But once freed, the cupbearer forgot. Days turned into years. Then Pharaoh himself had disturbing dreams no one could explain. Suddenly, the cupbearer remembered Joseph. Joseph was taken from prison, cleaned up, and brought before Pharaoh. He listened carefully and explained that the dreams meant Egypt would enjoy 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of severe famine. He advised Pharaoh to prepare by storing food during the good years. Pharaoh was impressed not only by the interpretation, but by Joseph's wisdom. In a single moment, Joseph was elevated from prisoner to second in command over all of Egypt. The dreamer had risen. When the famine came, people from many lands traveled to Egypt for food, including Joseph's brothers. They stood before him, unaware of who he was, and bowed down just as his dreams had foretold. Joseph recognized them instantly. After testing their hearts, he revealed his identity. They were terrified, expecting revenge. But Joseph chose forgiveness. "You meant evil against me," he said, "but God meant it for good." Joseph provided for his brothers, reunited with his father, and healed what had once been broken. His story reminds us that delays do not cancel destiny. Pain does not erase purpose, and waiting does not mean God is absent. Joseph's rise did not happen despite the pit and the prison, but through them. And in the end, the dreamer became living proof that faith, patience, and integrity can carry us through the darkest seasons into a future greater than we ever imagined.